You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Ashley versus Bullock.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone.
Good day.
Ms. Ashley, you say that after years of searching, you finally located the man you believe to be your biological father. You say that after finding Mr. Bullock, he embraced you as his daughter before cruelly rejecting you the same way he did when you were a child. You say you have no doubt he's your biological father and plan to prove it today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Bullock, you say that even though you were once married to Miss Ashley's mother, you say it is medically impossible for you to be her biological father. You say you are just a nice guy who ended up in an awkward situation, and you are 100% certain Miss Ashley is not your daughter. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
So, Miss Ashley, how did Mr. Bullock reject you as a child?
Well, at age 2, I went to foster care. And at age 6, I was adopted by a single woman. She gave me a good life. She gave me a real good life, but we bumped heads a lot because I always knew I was adopted. I always knew I had a father out there and a biological mother, but I always didn't know why they weren't there. So, you know, it was always a hard time, you know, growing up. You know, I played basketball, ran track. All of my friends, they had their fathers there rushing out of work, hurrying up to get to their games. Not me, never, never. Never called a man a father, never had a father, so.
And that hurts you, I can see that.
Yeah, it bothers me. I would like to know, you know.
You deserve to know.
Yeah.
Your Honor, that isn't how it happened at all. At that point, the reason we couldn't take care of her, I'm gonna leave it like that.
Okay.
But I've tried several attempts, several times. As a matter of fact, that Saturday she was taken away.
Ma'am, I was adopted.
No, she wasn't adopted right away because I was paying child support.
Okay, so
she wasn't adopted right away.
You know exactly where I was
I
at.
went to get her, and a certain party told Child Protective, said, no, don't give them to the father, because if the father upset with the mother, he might do something to the kids. Wow. And that's why I wasn't able to get her back.
So you said you were looking for her?
Yes, ma'am. I looked for Ebony for all my life.
I was in the same spot where you left me.
Okay.
So what kind of looking was you? I found you.
That was
smart.
Okay,
Here
I
you
moved
go.
out
You
of the
got
state.
all these stories. Here you go with your stories.
Now,
just tell the truth.
Okay, now to tell the truth is, I don't believe she minds to tell the truth. If you want
well, I was just about to ask you, why were you looking for her if you didn't believe she was yours?
I was there when she was born. I signed the birth certificate. You know, I was in love with her mother. I wanted her to be my daughter. But
were you married to her mother?
I was married to her mother, yes.
When she was born, you were married?
No, ma'am. We got married afterward.
Well, when I found him, which was on Facebook, I wrote him an email on Facebook and told him, you know, if you know who I am, please contact me.
So you submitted that message that you're speaking about to the
right
court.
There on the,
and
there you go.
This is it. It says, my name is Ebony Ashley. I was born to, your mother's name. I have a brother by the name of, and that would be your brother's name. Can you please contact me? I'm not asking for anything from you. I would just like to talk.
And we talked, and we had a beautiful conversation.
Yeah.
And when I just read that, I could see the tears in your eyes.
Because he's so full of it. Like, why are you wasting my time?
Your Honor,
when you say he's, honestly, I want to understand what you're feeling. When you say...
I feel like this. If somebody hit me up right now and said, oh, I think you're my father, you're my mom, I would have been like, listen here. Let's get this straight from the get-go. I'm grown. I can accept it. I'm not no little girl. I'm grown. I can accept him saying, you know, I was with your mom, but I don't know. But we can handle this.
That's what I said.
No,
that's exactly what I said.
No, what you said was, hello, daughter, come visit me and my wife.
Right.
Let me take you and meet all my friends. After the fact. After the fact what? That you accepted me as your daughter, right? You bring me down there with my kids. I meet your coworkers. I meet your family. But you're not my dad, though, right? You playing a role like you're playing one right now. Come on now.
Your Honor, I wanted her to be my daughter. I was there when she was born. I signed the birth certificate. So now she's back into my life. Here it is.
Okay, so how embarrassing is this? I tell him, bring him to my family, meet everybody in my family, meet my kids, and now he's screaming he ain't my daddy.
So he accepted you when you first reconnected. You say he answered the phone, hi, daughter. He invited you to come down to visit him with your children,
Yes.
in your mind, there weren't any questions as to whether...
I thought everything was cool.
You thought it was fine. You thought you had found your father.
Yeah.
After all of
Yeah.
these years.
Okay.
That ain't how it went down.
That's not how it went down?
No, when I met her, we talked on Facebook. The first thing I told her, I said, you know, I've been told that I wasn't your father. That's what I told her. Now, she can have it in the back of her mind, but still, we continue to communicate. You know, I wanted her to be in my life. I let her come to visit me, her and her grandkids, beautiful grandkids, and I told her, I said, everything I say to her is a negative. She in my house and act like I'm not there, ignoring me.
Are you serious? You didn't even look at me for 2 days, the first 2 days I was there. You just full of it.
Okay,
Just be 100.
I'm gonna be 100 then.
Yeah,
okay,
be 100.
Be 100,
You think...
Your Honor. I accepted her as my daughter when she was born. And then I knew she wasn't my daughter because the time just wasn't right. She's not mine, and I could prove it. I brought a board here with the time frame and...
You brought an exhibit here.
Yes, ma'am.
Please step over to it and explain to the court what you are speaking of.
And I'm gonna show you, Your Honor.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell.
I met her mother right here. That's where I met her mother in July now.
In July?
Yes, ma'am. Now, I'm gonna count the months. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ebony's supposed to have been born right here. But...
In April?
Yes, ma'am. Ebony was born in November, so I figured she was born in November that early. She should have been an incubator or something. She was 9 pounds. Now, there's no way.
I was 9
That's mine.
pounds.
I mean, come on. I use your words, Your Honor.
5 pounds.
That is a huge window.
Yeah,
That is a very huge window.
What you're saying is Ebony was born just 4 months
Yes, ma'am.
after you met her mother.
Yes, ma'am.
But she was a 9-pound full-term baby.
Yes, ma'am.
So did you go to a doctor's appointment or anything?
Me and her mother, we wasn't living together then. When Ebony was born, I was in New York on vacation.
But you say you signed the birth certificate.
Yes.
Why?
Why would you do that?
Because I was in love with her mother.
Did you believe Ebony was yours, Miss Ashley was your daughter when you signed the birth certificate?
No, I knew she wasn't.
Oh,
Okay.
now I'm getting a new
No, I knew
flash.
she wasn't.
You're saying I knew she wasn't
Yes, ma'am.
mine
I knew
because
she
of the
wasn't
way
mine.
the timeline mapped out.
Yes, ma'am.
But because I loved her mother and thought we were going to be a family, I took responsibility for Ebony, for Miss Ashley.
Yes, ma'am.
And Miss Ashley, did you ever hear that any other man could be your biological father?
No, ma'am.
In your life?
Never. This is what he want to do, you know. I'm only his daughter when it's convenient for him, you know. It's an honor for him to be my father, not the other way around, okay? So if he want to sit up here and make it seem like, you know, I'm doing something to him or, you know, he want to make a show, go right ahead, you know, because if he's my father, good for you. If he's not, hey, you know, my life is not going to change.
So, Mr. Bullock, when you're attempting to prove your case, and you are, and I understand the confusion as I look at that timeline, if that's in fact how it happened. But what I don't understand is, it seems as if you don't understand Miss Ashley's argument. It's almost like she's just pulling at straws or she's making this up. You do understand why this young woman is convinced you're her biological father, don't you?
Okay. We wouldn't be in this situation right now if Ebony treated me like a human being.
Treated you like what?
You know,
just
like a
because
person. Talk to me like, no, she curses me out.
I do
Your
not
Honor.
cuss you out. I'm
Ebony,
real with
Ebony,
you. You just mad
Ebony,
because I tell you
Ebony,
the truth.
you don't curse me out every chance you get for no reason at all.
One-
You're ready to curse right then.
Yeah, I sure was.
Listen.
Yes, you full of it.
Ebony
I
is-
can't deal with
Let's talk one at a time. Let's
Ebony's
talk
the
one at a
devil.
time.
I'm the devil.
Towards me now.
Listen.
Not towards my family, but towards me.
Listen.
I'm the devil.
Listen.
I need to know if she my daughter or not if I'm gonna put her with this kind of behavior. I need to know if she's my daughter. Because there's no way I'm gonna let a child that's not mine put up with this kind of behavior.
You don't
But hold on. This is the part now I'm not understanding. Because, Miss Ashley, you're saying you just want some answers.
Yeah.
What kind of questions are you
Like I asked
asking?
him, like, why? You heard him say he signed my birth certificate. He was there for me. Where did you go? Why did you leave? Why did we get adopted? Where were you?
I explained to you,
Where
sir.
were you?
I was at work when you got taken.
It
wasn't my fault. I tried to get you back. See, what I supposed to do? The law steps in. Your Honor, your law steps in. What I supposed to do?
Every time he gets around, we argue, and then he turns around and does something like, for example, happy birthday. He wants to put on my post. We argue, and then he hits me on Facebook.
No, when I say
birthday,
I mean
daughter.
it from my heart. I mean it from my heart.
If
like
he
I said.
sent you a message that says happy birthday to a special daughter, even though me and you argue like hell, you're still my little girl, and I will always love you, so enjoy your day, and many more to come, love your dad. That's a beautiful message. If you tell this young woman, hey, hello, daughter, come visit me, bring your children, write her these kinds of messages on her birthday, and now you're standing before me saying, I know for certain that is not my biological child.
I have always known, Yana, if Ebony wasn't such a messed up person towards me, we wouldn't be standing here today.
Are you suggesting that if Ashley weren't expressing this level of confusion and anger towards you, that you would have just embraced her and never said a word?
Yes, ma'am.
But how am I supposed to be? Explain to me.
Yes, ma'am.
How am I supposed to be?
You're supposed to act like a human being, like a decent human being.
A human being has emotions and feelings, and I'm showing them to you.
Yeah.
So is it that you don't believe she's your daughter, or you don't like the way she treats you?
No, I know she's not my daughter, but I don't like the way she treats me.
So, Mr. Bullock, as I read the opening statement and looked through the court papers, you said you have medical evidence?
Okay, Yana, when I was in the military, we was doing training. What we used is practice grenades, and one of them went off, and one of my testicles got destroyed. And the doctor said that there's a chance that you won't be able to bear any kids.
Do you have any other children?
No, ma'am.
All right, that's interesting. And I think that the court needs to ask some further questions. So with that said, the court would like to call in a medical consultant, Dr. Samantha Brown Parks. Jerome, will you please escort the doctor in?
Sure.
Thank you.
Hello, Dr. Brown Parks.
Hi there.
We are here discussing a paternity issue, and the defendant, Mr. Bullock, has just offered testimony that suggests that during his service,
a hand grenade.
A hand grenade exploded.
A train-flash hand grenade.
Exploded, and one of his testicles was injured. He then consulted a medical doctor, was told that he had a disrupted testicle, and that he may not be able to father children. So I want to first ask you, what exactly is a disrupted testicle?
So a disrupted testicle is kind of a broad term, meaning that something has caused the sperm to not be able to get out of the testes during intercourse. Now, it sounds like it was only one testicle.
Was it just one testicle, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
And so is it possible then with a man with one disrupted testicle to father a child?
So most men have 2 functioning testicles and produce somewhere in the order of 1,000 sperm a second. That equals millions of sperm that are transferred during intercourse. So even at that rate, it only takes one to make a baby.
So there is still a possibility, if he has the other functioning testicle, that he could potentially father a child.
Definitely.
After hearing the testimony from the doctor, Mr. Bullock, do you feel differently? Do you feel like perhaps Miss Ashley could be your biological child?
Your Honor, me and my wife, we've been married 20 years. Never used protection. We don't have any kids.
So, Miss Ashley, I know this has been difficult, and you've had to relive a very painful time in your childhood, and you've been through a lot. What do you hope for today? What are your hopes?
Honestly, I hope he is, just because if he's not, I won't know who is. And that's the only reason.
Because if he is not, you don't have another name. Understood. Sir, what are you hoping for?
Well, if she is mine, then I could put up with the bull, because she's mine.
Trust me, if I ain't,
you know,
you ain't gotta worry about me ever.
You know, I'm just
ever
saying.
contacting you.
I think it's time for us to get the truth so we can figure out how to move forward. Jerome? Thank you.
You're welcome.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. In the case of Ashley versus Bullock, when it comes to 28-year-old Ebony Ashley, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Bullock, you are not the father. I'm sorry, Miss Ashley.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm happy that I could get you at least this level of closure.
Right.
Can I say something, Your Honor? Ebony, she's a beautiful child, you know. I hope she do find her father. When she do, I hope she treats him a lot better than she treated me.
Listen, there is a young woman standing across from you at 28 years old that has never met her biological father, and she deserves to know who he is.
Yes, ma'am.
What makes that more difficult is that you signed a birth certificate, and in many ways, you kind of blocked off the path, if you know what I mean. That from then on, the state's not looking for her father. No one's looking for her father. Her father of record is on her birth certificate.
Yes, Your
And so this is in large part because of your actions that she's standing here in this moment. And I think you could show a little bit more compassion, because even though you weren't trying, I think your intention at that time was good. What has happened, the result, has been a very confusing childhood for this young woman.
I'm sorry.
And when she says it doesn't feel that great, I believe her.
I can't stop the love for her. I still love her. I can't stop that.
And that's fair. And you know what? I think in that moment, that's the most beautiful thing you can just say, is that you just love her.
Yeah, I want the dishes.
So I'm gonna send you all off to Dr. Jeff, and I want you all to continue to talk about it from that space, from the space of love. That's where we can start to begin to get through this, all right? I wish you the very best of luck. Court is adjourned. Jerome, can you please escort Miss Ashley up?